A march in silence to mourn the death of a French schoolteacher stabbed and decapitated in broad daylight in a suburb of Paris. Yet political reaction to the murder of history teacher Samuel Paty is anything but quiet. To the sound of the national anthem, members of the French Parliament gathered. Then a minute's silence. Afterwards came this proclamation.
Nous sommes unis.
We are united, standing and determined to fight the instigator of this murder, because in Mr. Samuel Paty lies the France that is republican and humanist, that was cravenly and atrociously attacked.
Emmanuel Macron, the French president, has ordered a crackdown on Muslim organisations.
Dès demain au Conseil des ministres.
As of tomorrow at the Cabinet meeting, we will dissolve the Sheikh Yassin collective, directly implicated in the attack. More decisions against associations and groups of individuals will follow in the coming days and weeks. Our determination is complete. The acts will happen. The Republic needs them.
Here, worshippers at a mosque that's been closed down by the Interior Minister, who claims its leaders shared an online video saying Samuel Paty should be intimidated.
Okay, the language that the mosque use, being intimidated, is bad language, but I don't understand. They put the mosque, shut down the mosque for 6 months apparently, instead of like shutting it down just for during the investigation. 6 months. I really hope France doesn't betray its Enlightenment values when it comes to censorship. When it comes, if in response to the beheading that just happened. Here's a comment. Let me just check this. Like the murder on Floyd caused worldwide protests, the murder on the French teacher should also lead to a wave of global protests to battle Islamic fundamentalism. What do you think? Well, what about the stabbing of these two Muslim women? What kind of protest should that lead to? God damn it. You just you can't get people to just be true to Enlightenment values, right? You get every side it's just tribalism on the anti-Islam side, the Islam side. Why is it so hard for people to just understand that there's certain values that work and you just have to just defend them no matter what side you are? God damn it, tribalism. God damn tribalism. Like, people start caring about free speech only when Muslims betray freedom of speech or freedom of expression or violate their rights. But all of a sudden, when it's being done to the other side, all these values that they pretend to be defending just goes out the window.
He says they also shared the address of his school.
From the moment someone relays a video, you should chase him, not the mosque, not a whole community.
Yeah, wait, what? This guy was good. Yeah, you're right. I agree with this guy. This is collective punishment, guys. Again, this is collective punishment. You're collectively removing access to a mosque from an entire community that had nothing to do with the mosque, with the attack, with the beheading.
From the moment someone relays a video, you should chase him, not the mosque, not a whole community.
I agree with that Muslim. I mean, I think it makes sense to close down the mosque for the period of investigation, but apparently they closed the mosque down for 6 months. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you guys are okay. So first of all, so pretentious idiot is saying the teacher was politically assassinated. These women got in an alternation with some racists that turned violent. Yeah, and what's the point here? They're both evil.
Protests against what the government has described as Muslim extremism followed Paty's death.
This I support, but shutdown of the mosque I don't support.
He had been killed by an 18-year-old.
Okay, so Katie, my understanding is that it was closed for 6 months. I mean, I'm pretty sure, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but investigations do not take 6 months like that. But yeah.
Of Chechen origin, who was shot dead by police.
That's the sound when that Chechen guy got shot down. That's the sound of that.
Earlier this month, Muslim parents objected after the teacher had shown cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad in a lesson about freedom of expression. The images were first shown by the satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, and that led to a wave of attacks in 2015. What's happening in Paris right now is causing more divisiveness, along with fears that what political leaders call a zero tolerance to Islamic extremism will escalate into more violence in both communities.
So see, you see these protests for freedom of expression and French values and Enlightenment values. This is what we need, and the progress that these protests will make, all of it will go out like this. If instead of doing this, more Muslims are attacked, discriminated against, or made feel less like they belong in France, like they're French, if they're demonized, right? So remember, before the attack, what was Macron saying? He had a speech about, even before any of this happened. It's very odd that the speech of Macron was exactly before these attacks, before any of this escalated. Macron had a speech about the problem with Islam, in France and everywhere else. And in that speech, he was talking about these kinds of radicalization happens because of segregation. The main thing that they're trying to, the main force behind, this is why I'm telling you, like, Muslims in Canada feel more Canadian, and even Muslims in the United States feel more American than the Muslims in UK and France feel French or feel British or French. And this segregation is going to cause more of this radical behavior, right? And guess what is also going to cause more radicalization is if, in response to the beheading of Samuel, more people, instead of doing peaceful marches like this, start looking at their Muslim citizens as all of them as radicals, all of them as potential terries. I'm gonna say terries because I don't know if I could say that real word. I don't know what YouTube wants from me anymore. Okay, we don't know what YouTube wants. Okay, all of them as potential threats, all of them as people who don't belong in France. If instead of these protests are good. These like show of solidarity, show of not backing down against threats to Enlightenment values. This is what we want more of. Okay, but if even a small fraction of these people start attacking the Muslim community, start making them feel like crap, start making them feel like they're not welcome, that they're less worthy of people's care and attention and love and friendship, then that's gonna, the segregation that Macron was warning people about before these attacks, that's gonna happen more. And if that happens more, you're gonna get more radicalization. Let me see what you guys are saying. France betrayed its enlightenment many years ago. Free speech and freedom of expression is restricted. The UK, even though it is not perfect, is far better than France. Yeah, it seems like even though United Kingdom and France are the parents of enlightenment values, it was United States that adapted them the most. British Pakistani atheist is also saying, if you desecrate the French national... Yep, I know, this is stupid. This is so stupid. If you desecrate the French national anthem in public, you can receive up to 6 months. The same law exists for the French flag. That is so stupid. That is so dumb. And great France, give justification to Muslims who say like, well, okay, well, that's dear to you. Well, Muhammad is dear to us. I mean, you sound like hypocrites. If you want to defend freedom of expression by saying, hey, let's make cartoons of Muhammad and that should be freedom of expression, well, great job. You give ammunition to Muslims to call you hypocrites. Fantastic job, France. Great, amazing. You just shoot yourself in the foot. You are. I mean, here's the thing. I agree with those Muslims. I agree with those Muslims. The Muslims who call the French government hypocrites for saying like, oh, everybody should be standing for freedom of expression, so we should be able to draw Muhammad, and yet they go and give you 6 months in prison for desecrating the national anthem. The Muslims who call the French government hypocrites for that, yeah, I'm on their side. I'm sorry, I'm on the Muslim side on this. You are hypocrites for passing that law. God damn it, man. Enlightenment values, man. They're going, guys. They're taking it all over the goddamn planet. We're losing the rights. People are just giving it away. The rights that people have fought for and bled for hundreds of years that came at a huge price. People are like, meh. Here, let it go. Let another 100 years people fight for it. Let more people bleed for it. So, oh my God. Katie saying, I agree, not mixing with the wider society will make you feel alienated from the people and you won't feel welcome in the country. This will lead to radicalization by discussing ideologues. Exactly. Yeah, anti-Muslim bigotry leads to more Islamic radicalization. Exactly. Islamic radicals lead to more anti-Muslim bigotry. This stupid cycle needs to end ASAP. Very well put, Katie. Better than I could have said.